Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10:03 a.m. on this lovely Friday morning. Enjoy your last day of work before the weekend, unless you're unlucky like me and you have to work Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, and you get Monday and Tuesday off, or something similar to that. Anyway, I'm still tired as fuck. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I was just looking at a bunch of stuff on Facebook about guns and stuff, and I saw this post. There was like this billboard that said "Kill the NRA," and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, kill the NRA? Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, you don't like guns? What, are you gonna fight us with your fists? Are you gonna throw rocks at us, or are you gonna bring knives to a gunfight, or what? I'm just curious. I'm just whatever. Anyway, yesterday. I pre-ordered Sea of Thieves today, by the way, so no big deal or anything. Anyway, more importantly, what was I going to say? There was this guy on Facebook who was talking about... Of course I start yawning when I start talking. There was this guy on Facebook the other day talking about how video games are part of the cause of violence because people that play video games have this sick fantasy of doing all this stuff, which I think is retarded. I've never picked up Grand Theft Auto and started shooting up streets or shooting up people because I was thinking about in real life how awesome it'd be to go out in the streets and shoot people. It's not really a fantasy you think of. I mean, like I said, if people do get driven to kill other people because of a video game, that means they're already crazy. Because normal people aren't going to play Grand Theft Auto and be like, you know what a good idea is? I should go murder somebody. I remember I looked it up because I was curious when I was talking to this guy and arguing or whatever, debating, whatever you want to call it. Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 85 million copies. 85 million copies. If that game turned people into killers, don't you think we'd have quite the problem on our hands? I don't believe... 99.9%. 99.999999999% of people that play Grand Theft Auto probably won't ever commit a violent crime. They might commit crime, but not a violent crime. And I guarantee you it's not because of the game. I promise you it's not because of the game. I don't remember what I was going to say now. I was going to follow that up with something. Anyway. Rated M games. I've been playing Rated M games since I was 9 years old. Grand Theft Auto was the first console game I ever played. I played... I guess it's not entirely true. Like, I played, like, Super Mario and stuff, but as far as, like, advanced consoles went, like PlayStation or anything, like, PlayStation 2 was out. Like, I played Grand Theft Auto Vice City when I was, like, 8 or 9. It's, like, the first actual game I played, and that got me into playing video games. And then I demanded my own PlayStation 2, and I got a PlayStation 2 with Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And I was only 9. My parents let me do that stuff. And when I was younger, at like the age 5, 6, maybe somewhere around there, I fell in love with slasher horror movies. And he was talking about how like video games are a sick fantasy, and it's just like I don't really understand exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about all this stuff about how bad video games are, how they brainwash people, and like I'm sitting here like I've been playing video games for a long time, and he was also talking about, he was like, so if it's okay to kill people, it's okay to rape someone in a game. And I told him, I was like, I've never actually played a game where the main character was able to go up and rape anybody they want. And he's like, so they made a game about pedophilia. And then I was like, I think there's a line there. I don't think they allow people to rape each other. And then he was like, oh, so you get to decide where the line's drawn. I was like, no, I'm just saying, I think based on all the games that I've played, I think game companies kind of draw the line at that stuff. He's like, what about a game about pedophiles? They could do that, right? I'm just like, you're fucking getting real crazy here. Like, you're fucking going way out on a limb here, bud. Like, Grand Theft Auto, you can kill people, you can have sex with hookers, you go to the strip club, you can rob stores, but you can't rape people. You can pretend to rape people, but you can't rape people. Simple as that. Grand Theft Auto gets the most scrutiny mainly because you can free roam and kill whoever you want. I might also add that games like Elder Scrolls that have kids in them don't even let you kill the children. Like, you can't actually hurt them. And Grand Theft Auto doesn't have any kids in it at all to avoid any sort of issue. It's not like Grand Theft Auto was promoting the shooting up a school or anything. You couldn't even pretend to do that if you wanted to. They're just, I don't know. I hear when people try to blame video games for violence. It doesn't make it different. Video games don't cause people to kill people. If you're already crazy and you kill somebody because you played a video game, well, like I said, you're already crazy. There was no stopping that. It was a matter of time before that happened anyway. People think we can prevent killings if we get fucking rated M video games taken down, or we fucking make them more expensive and shit. It's like, it's only $60. Like, kids have to ask their parents for that half the time, and if the parents buy it for them and they end up being crazy and killing people, like, it's not anyone's fault but the parents for letting them play that game. I don't know. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the game's fault anyway. Like, they kill someone in the game and be like, oh, that'd be fun to do in real life. I get it if they're crazy. But like I said, if they're crazy. That's a stretch. You know, you got all this gun control talk right now, man. The right to bear ass. The right to bear arms. Like, people that are, like liberals always, I keep seeing these posts, like, liberals are like, we need common sense gun laws and blah, 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 and this and that. And it's like, I really wonder if liberals believe that you could just walk into a fucking gun store, hand them the money, take the gun, and go home. Because that's what it seems like. I think they literally believe that you could just walk in, hand them the cash, they give you the gun, and you're done, and you go home. That's what it seems like. That's not how it works at all. You do have to pass a background check. And in Minnesota, you have to have a permit to buy a handgun, which you have to buy a permit to even get a handgun in the first place, and that takes time to pass a background check. Then you got to pass another background check and you actually buy it. But if you were to go buy a shotgun or a rifle, you go to the store, you tell them you want it, you get ready, sign up. It takes at least 20 minutes. It takes you like 20 minutes to fill out the fucking information. You got to fill out your address, your name, social security number, if you've had any like felonies or anything like that, or whatever, and then you type that all up and you give them the information, and they send it to the FBI or whatever they do. And it goes to the computer, and it can take up to 24 hours. It literally had taken 24 hours to get a handgun one time. We were at the store, and my dad, we picked up the handgun we were going to get, and then the guy set up the background test, or check, and he said it could take a while. The last one I had took about 5-6 hours, and we went home, and he called us the next day, about 24 hours later, said, yeah, you just passed, so you can come pick it up and stuff now. So common sense gun laws are already in place. And I hate these people that are like, well, what do you need assault rifles for? Well, because first off, they're not really assault rifles, first off, because they're no different than a regular hunting rifle, except they're styled after a military weapon. I watched, and if you have the same caliber so-called assault rifle and the same caliber hunting rifle, you can exchange clips. Clips will fit into both guns. It's not like the military weapon does any extra damage or holds any more rounds. And you know, if you think about it, people are like, we need to get rid of semi-automatic weapons. Well, you know what? Have you ever shot a lever-action rifle before? You can fucking reload those things really fucking fast. They're called repeater rifles. They're fast. If you know how to shoot it, even if you don't know how to shoot it, you shoot it, you have quick lever or chamber another one. Shoot it, chamber another one. Shoot it, chamber another one. You can't just go bam, obviously, but you could do just as much damage with the lever action as you could with the semi-auto if you were training for it. Not even if you don't have to train for it. If you grab a gun, like I said, they're pretty fast, and you can shoot. I think the lever action my dad has is a 30-30, so it's got some pretty decent rounds in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not semi-automatic rifles. It's a people problem. People would, if you made it hard for semi-automatics to get, and they couldn't get semi-automatics, so they're going to start using lever actions or something else, or a semi-automatic pistol or something like that. You know what I mean? They're always going to go around it, or they're just going to get semi-automatic gun illegally, something like that. There's always a way around things like that. And they will do it. If they want to kill someone, they'll do it. If they want to do it bad enough, they will figure out some ways to do it. I promise you that. My family owns a lot of weapons. We have some automatic shotguns. We have some automatic rifles. We have bolt-action rifles. We have bolt-action or lever-action rifles. We have pump shotguns. We have double barrels. We have over and unders. We have single-action pistols. We have double-action pistols. You know what I mean? We have a big range of stuff, a lot of stuff. We have a big safe vault. We keep them in a gun safe. We have a bunch of guns, and we never caused any problems with it. And like I said, I was arguing about video games the other day, and he was talking about how they can brainwash people. And I was thinking, I said, I started playing Grand Theft Auto when I was 9 years old. If Grand Theft Auto was going to brainwash me, don't you think it would have been then? When I was still young, my brain was ready for molding. Like, I was pretty young at the time. Like, if I was going to be molded to kill people because of a video game, it probably would have happened then. Not to mention, I've been watching Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween since I was 5 or 6 years old. I can't blame fantasies. Like, it's a fucking fiction. So like I even said, people don't blame Stephen King for how gruesome his books can get. For some reason, you know what I mean? I mean, you have to use your imagination to see that stuff. But apparently when you illustrate it in a video game or a movie, apparently it can cause killers. I don't agree with that at all. Like the one kid who killed his little brother because he apparently watched Dexter, that kid is already fucked up. He's not gonna... I actually watched Dexter through and through 2 times. Because I watched it by myself and my fiance wanted to watch it, so I watched all 8 seasons 2 times. Never did I ever think, oh, maybe I should kill somebody because the show's sweet. Nah, it didn't happen. Never happened. Nope. I promise you that. I just think people look into things too far. And obviously, they want something to blame, so pointing blame at an inanimate object that can't defend itself is easy. So they want to blame the guns. If they can't blame the guns, they want to blame video games. If they can't blame the video games, they want to blame somebody or something else. You know what I mean? I don't know. Human beings are famous for not taking responsibility for things that are just humans' fault. It always has to be something else's fault, something that they can regulate, because they can't regulate crazy. They can't regulate evil. They can't regulate murder. You know what I mean? Like they want to be able to point their blame at something easy to fucking fix, and it's not an easy fix because you're fucking trying to destroy the Constitution in the process. Like I've always said, the Constitution is the Second Amendment is set in place so the American people can form a militia if need be, and to protect us from the government, from our government, if they ever became if they ever started becoming tyrannical, whatever the fucking word it is. If stop from their tyranny if they ever got crazy or out of hand. And them trying to destroy the Constitution, in my opinion, is tyranny. And if that ever happens, I feel like there's going to be a fucking rise of the civilians. And I guarantee you that the U.S. Army is not going to want to fire on its own citizens. They're not going to want to fire on its own citizens for defending their fucking constitutional right. The Constitution is there. If we could just change the Constitution with stopping them from taking away our freedom of speech, or at least restricting it because it offends people, you know what I mean? Like, if we touch the Constitution right now, and we change what's already been put on it, there's no stopping it from happening over and over again. The Constitution is supposed to be set in stone. It's supposed to be something that we can't touch. Our guidelines to keep this country free. And the Democrats just want to destroy it. That's what pisses me off. The Democrats want to just take humans' rights as American citizens away. Like, why? What the hell's the point? We're American citizens. Let us keep our fucking rights. Like, I don't understand that. Anyway, that's all the time I have today, so talk to you later.